Okay, Mr. Ramirez, I have a few questions to ask you about the officers that you got in a fight with. You say there were two officers in the unmarked car,
Yes.
and were both of the officers basically able to see what was happening?
Yes, they were.
Okay, and you say the fight started in front of the cars?
It did, and it led to the back.
Yeah, and somewhere in the process, as the fight was moving to the back, Officer Levy fell down. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you said at that time you looked in the car and saw Officer Weldman,
Yes, Officer Waldman was sitting in his vehicle.
and you testified that Officer Weldman wasn't doing anything at that point in time.
Yes.
Okay, next, let's talk a little bit about damages. In your suit, you basically are claiming that your medical expenses were something less than $10,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're saying also that your lost wages are a little less than $10,000?
Yes.
So your actual cash losses for this were less than $20,000?
That's correct.
Do I understand correctly that this suit is for $700,000?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what 700,000 divided by 20,000 is?
No.
Do you know what 70 divided by 2 is?
35.
So, do I understand correctly that you're asking the taxpayers of Chicago to pay you 35 times as much money as you actually lost in this accident?
That's correct.
Okay, next I'd like to speak to your mental state when the fight started. You testified that that night you had had 2 beers and 4 or 5 scotch and waters, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And when you pulled up next to Officer Levy's car and stopped, were you basically picking a fight?
Yes.
Okay, and you were picking a fight just because they were driving too slow?
Yes.
And when you were shot, you said you thought Officer Wildman kicked you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the gun?
I did not.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.